Hello. We are back. Oh, and my sound is all kind of working. Good. Fantastic. Hello everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while. I've been very busy. I mean, anyone who's not in the Discord server, just brief sitrep what's been happening. I started a new job like 3 months ago now, but it like landed perfectly in line with when I was supposed to be going on a bunch of trips. So I was in New York for the end of July, start of August, and then for most of the rest of August I was off in Lithuania, and then I got back at end of August, and basically that's when I like properly started my new job, because I've just been away for so long during, so lots of time getting on board on that. There's been stuff just with the studio that's not related to any live stream or any of the like personal projects or channel projects that's going on. There's been some really exciting stuff for Tilelands, and various other games that will be happening with the studio in the future. Just lots of awesome stuff that is locked in, which I'm really excited about and can't wait to get going. It's gonna take a minute, so I'm gonna pace myself. But you'll probably notice that I'm also I'm on Windows. I'm on Windows right now, and I'm not like the most happy about it. I usually develop on a Mac, and I very much like developing on a Mac, but for exciting reasons that I will not disclose yet until I have more certainty in everything, I needed a PC, so I'm now on a Windows machine, and that was another reason why I didn't start streaming again sooner, is because I was moving everything across. This is now my main development machine, so getting OBS set back up again, getting all my sound equipment set up, camera, working with it. Hopefully the lighting's looking a little bit better as well, because I made some small changes there. But we're back, and we're going to do some fun things. Before we get started with those fun things for today, I want to just talk about two little things real quick. First and foremost, myself and my good friend Alan, Beagle in the Discord server, one of the mods, we took part in the Rockies Game Jam and made this game here called Red Spot Operative. It's a kind of interesting terminal-based management game where you take the role of an operator on a mining company in Jupiter. You have a terminal, you can run commands, and you have to get your agents to mine gas off Jupiter within quota. It's pretty interesting, kind of tough, not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but if you are interested, you should totally go and check it out. It's over on the itch.io page now. And secondly, and probably more excitingly, we're publishing a game. It's called Isle of Birds. It was developed by a good friend of mine, Felix. It's a really fun little project. Honestly, it's got a similar spirit to Tilelands. The whole premise is that you're building up an island of little birds. It's heavily inspired by the Suica watermelon game. And it's just super cute, and we're helping publish it. So if you want to support the studio and you want to support the developer, Felix, Obfuscate Interactive, head on over to the page. There's a link in the description. Give the game a wish list, share it with your friends, all the rest of it. It really does help out a lot, both for, you know, me personally, but also for him as the developer of the game. And yeah, expect to see a lot more about this game in the coming weeks. Okay. So, today, we're in Godot, which is like, everything's different, it's all going crazy. So, Yeah, reason being, we used Godot for the Braggies Jam, and it was really cool. I actually quite enjoyed it. There's a lot about Godot that really annoys me as someone who's moving away from Unity. Most of it to do with the programming. I actually really like the node structure compared to game objects and things. I think it's just much better for like designing architecture. It's quicker to iterate. Having one script per object as a maximum limit is really quite nice. And the whole, you know, reference, what is it? It's like reference down, signal up type thing. So forcing you into this paradigm of having nodes reference things that are children of them, and anything that is a child has to send a signal, which then the parent listens to. It's a really good paradigm to follow. I love that a lot. But GDScript does not have all the features that I want in a modern programming language. Most specifically, the ones that really annoy me are type safety not being quite so explicit. There is, you know, typing of things, explicit typing of things, but there's also kind of no hard lock on that necessarily. Type dictionaries aren't a thing, although I know that's coming in Godot 4.4, which will be really cool. Things like using enums as keys for dictionaries and being able to assign them in the inspector, that's not something that you can do. So there's little bits that make me not like it quite as much as Unity for a lot of things, especially larger scale projects. But all that being said, I really like the workflow. I really like how quickly I can iterate with Godot. I had a really fun time messing with it for the Braggies Jam, so I want to try and actually make a full commercial game for Steam in Godot. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to start off working on a game that I've been thinking about for a while called Gladelings, which is a little kind of cross between City Skylines and sorry, not City Skylines, Cult of the Lamb and Cult of the Lamb and City Skylines kinda. You're managing a colony of people and you've got to get them to research things. I suppose it's more like Cult of the Lamb meets Civ, I guess. But it should be fun. So, I need to figure out where I'm starting because I haven't got a clue what I want to do first. I think, first things first, I want to just create some organizational folders. And let's get out of Unity habits and start using Godot habits, snake case. So I want a folder for my assets, my resources, and my scripts. I'm going to create a folder under assets for visuals. And then under that still we'll have textures. Or textures and sprites. And we will also have animations. And I think probably, what was the other one? Shaders, of course. Which, that's super fun as well. The shader language in Godot is quite cool. It's a bit more similar to... It's almost like a C# HLSL hybrid. Which is weird, but also kind of fun. Kind of awesome. Alright, cool. And then I had a plan for some assets. I was thinking to make use of the Tiny Town collection from Kenny. It gives us like some trees. We get some little mushrooms. There's a little honey beehive. A beehive thing. And we get some little people as well. So theoretically everything that we need to kind of get this up and running. I think, and then if we need to supplement it with things like extra water or anything, we can make use of the Tiny Battles kit, which is much the same art style. Should do the job nicely. So we're gonna go ahead and download some of these. Get this unzipped and... Jeez. Got the yawns. Get this going. I want to just see in this... Oh, Let's open the tile map in my browser. Oh, no it hasn't. It's just opened it over here. Nice. Wait, is this the whole tile map? I might need to download the people separately. I think I do need to download the people separately. Okay, let's find out where we get the people from. First things first though. Yeah. Where do we get the people? Maybe in Tiny Dungeon? Yeah, there we go. We'll use these little tiny dungeon people. And there's also stuff like the axe and a bigger axe and things like that. So, while I'm setting all of this stuff up in the background, let me kind of talk a little bit about what the kind of vibe for this game is. So, one of the big things that I really want to prioritize with it is that it's a almost like an auto colony management game. Jeez. So rather than have it be the case that you are kind of explicitly saying what you want each person to do, queuing up icons and things, queuing up actions and things is what I was trying to say. You actually, oh that's too big. Large, there we go. You actually just have different types of actions and you assign a priority to your people, and in doing so they then decide what they're going to do based on their priority and based on the actions around them. It will also cover things like eating, all the rest of it. I'm very tired. Very tired. But yeah, so effectively want to have it be a pretty automatic kind of thing. The role of the player is more that of a god, where you decide, I would like this thing built at this location, I would like this area of land to be for farming or whatever, and then the people will just go off and do what they need to do to make that happen. So, all that being said, I'm going to just move this over onto the other screen real quick so I can pull Godot back up and start importing some stuff. Tile map packed. I'm going to rename this to our dungeon tiles. Tiny dungeon tiles. And then we'll do a similar thing for tiny town. Nope, I keep pressing enter instead of F2. Ah, jeez. Okay, right. So, I guess first things first. Maybe I want to start with making a little AI person, and we'll do a state machine for this, I think. So real quick, I'm just going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this. I don't know. Gladling management. There we go. Sick. Let's make a 2D scene. Actually, we're not going to make a 2D scene. Oh no, we are going to make a 2D scene. Cancel. Going to be a 2D node, and I'm going to call this Gladling, and I'm going to save it immediately under my scenes folder, which I did not create. And I'll make another folder called prefabs to go under here. That's also something that's kind of weird to try and get used to, is the workflow of scenes versus prefabs. I'm still very much like prefab is a resource, not a scene. But it's a scene. Okay, so let's add a child node, which can be my sprite 2D. I don't want to use an animated sprite 2D, because something I would like to do for this is have it be in-between animations, you know, like nice springy type vibe. So yeah. I am going to use the tiny dungeon tiles, and I want to oh, what is it that I want to do to set this up? I can't remember. That's what it is that I want to do. I want to say how many frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 horizontal frames. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vertical frames. Dingus me did not check which frame coordinate it would be. I think it's gonna be like 8, 3, maybe 9, 3. Oh no, sorry. 8 on Y, 3 on X. Close, close. There we go. Amazing. Let's get our project settings onto point rendering as well. Nearest. Lovely stuff. Got our little guy. I'm also going to move this up so that he's on his center. Sweet. Okay, so in terms of actually coding this dude, let's add a node underneath, I think, which is going to be my state, whoops, come on, state machine. I think that's the way that I want to go about doing it. Is that the way that I want to go about doing it? What I would like to do is have just a bunch of substates underneath my gladling. So, I'll tell you what, probably what's a better idea is if I make, because I might want to have other things that do state stuff as well, so I'm going to make state management folder. Under this, let's create a new script, which I'm going to call state machine. That is going to be a node. We're going to work in GD script, and let's pop this open, get zoomed in a bit so that you guys can see. Also, how are we all doing? Say hi in chat. I love chatting with you guys and getting ideas from you more than anything, because I have a tendency to drift. I'm just making sure that the font looks big enough on screen. I might go just a little bit bigger. Yeah, cool. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. Class name. State machine. Also, if there's anyone who is a Godot user watching, please be my guiding light, because I will almost definitely struggle. Right, gonna make another script called state, and this is gonna be quote unquote abstract. Super Zeeks, hello, welcome. Are you a Godot user? I'm feeling immediately out of my depth trying to go about building a state machine in Godot, because here's the thing, I've built state machines so many times in Unity, and I'm like, I know exactly what I would do to make it happen and how to make it dynamic so that it can take anything as well. In fact, you know, that was one of the core features of the Shiba Core Utils library. But now I'm sat here like, oh, how do I make a state machine in Godot? So here's where we're at. I think what I want to do, if I'm going to try and do this similar to how I would structure it code-wise, ignoring the fact that I'm a different engine, I would have a set of states, which would be a dictionary and we'll probably initialize that in code rather than going too crazy with anything. That's fine. It made a generic 2D platformer. Nice. I mean, to be fair, if you want to share it, please do send a link over in the Discord server. I do like seeing what everyone makes. It's very inspiring. And I understand I have a very kind of monotone sounding sarcastic British voice, but genuinely I really do like seeing everything that everyone makes. I just have a real passion for creativity and game development, so do share if you want to. Okay, got my states. We want that to be, it's going to be a dictionary that maps a probably a string to a state. Could be an enum, but I think a string probably makes more sense, and then we can just name the string on creation. No, we will use an enum. Only issue, obviously, is that we don't have, that's two other things as well about Godot that I'm not happy about, is the lack of interfaces and the lack of actual abstract classes. They're like features that I use heavily, and I do understand that the focus of Godot is composition over inheritance, which is cool, but there are still, generally speaking, in any object-oriented state or object-oriented paradigm, cases where I would want inheritance to happen, even if I'm still using composition as a part of that, and state machines is one of those, where I would probably want I want my gladling to be an extension of state machine, and I don't want state machine to be instantiatable as it is, even though theoretically everything would work fine. Natty, hello, welcome. Are you a Godot user? I need more Godot users to psych me up and get me going. Cool. Let's have a current state, which would be a state, and then let's have a string, or not a string. We can export. This is where I realised that I can't. Okay, we're not going to have our initial. But I really want to. Okay, we're going to use strings. We're going to use strings. As much as I really don't want to use strings for the keys of my state dictionary, we're going to use strings. Export var init state. Whoop. Name. Going to be a string. Because yeah, what I would usually do here is have it be a some generic type state for enum state or state enum, and then in my implementation of the state machine, gladling in this case, I would have the type, the generic type of state be equal to the enum that I define in that child class, and then use that as the key. But I can't do that in GD scripts, and it's kind of a shame, but it's not that big a deal. We'll have a function change state, which takes in a state key. You're going to be a string. For now, let's pass. We have our current state. I think that's all good for now. We'll need to define some stuff in our state. So first things first, I want to have a reference to our state machine, which can be a state machine. Again, ideally I would want this to be a generic, so that I can have the states for a gladling reference it directly. But to be fair, it's not as much of an issue in GD script, because I can just cast it and say that state machine is a gladling, you know? So not really, it's neither here or there. That's cool. I would like a function on process which will take in the delta, and I believe delta is a float. I'm going to stick an underscore in front of it as well, just in case we don't use it. We will have a func enter, or on enter, I guess. Then maybe I won't. I'll just call it enter. Great documentation. Yeah, to be fair, I've looked a lot at the Godot documentation. It's phenomenal. Compared to like anything else that I've used, which is really nice. Most of the GD syntax I'm pretty okay with. It's only been weird odd things, like for this game jam entry, it was stuff like BB code, because even though there's like a standard for the syntax of BB code, there isn't a standard for the like what the tags are. So I'd be going and googling like, yeah, how do I do this kind of formatting, and I get a response on some random forum for, yeah, you can do this for BB code like that, and I'm like, great. Do it in Godot doesn't work. So I'm like, why? But it's because the implementation in Godot is a bit different, because BB code is not it's not a set thing for everywhere. It has its variations, and that's cool. Real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the node from under there, because I actually don't think we'll need it. Rather, what I would like to do is probably work in a very similar way to something I was discussing with someone in the Discord server earlier, where we actually just use a lot of the stuff in Godot itself for rendering, and we can represent everything else as data and just make use of that data. So in my actual state machine, when we do on ready, so actually, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just create the script on here. I'm going to have a gladling. Let's go ahead and put this script in the right place. Hello, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you are well. There we go. I'm going to stick my gladling.gd in here, and we're going to have this extend state machine, which of course I've called state machine, and I'm going to say class name gladling, and then this can have our stuff to do. Make me do things. Cool. Had a very productive jeez, I'm half asleep. Very productive day. That's awesome. What have you been doing? Have you been working on anything fun, or just generally productive? As far as me liking Godot, I really like Godot quite a lot. I keep saying there's like little things, mainly around the programming that I don't like about it, but I really love the node structure. I really love the simplicity of everything being a node or a resource. That's awesome. I really quite like the interface. I don't particularly miss things like not having a game view. That doesn't faze me at all. Yeah, not a problem in the slightest. The shader workflow is really quite nice. And just the general speed at which I can iterate on stuff is really quite nice as well, even as someone with like literally no more than a week of experience using the engine. So yeah, I can't complain too much, honestly. It's pretty cool. Nice. What game are you working on? Share. God, I am so tired. I'm so tired. Yeah, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, I did a game jam with a friend of mine, the Brackies game jam last week, and on submission day I was up until 7 AM getting everything finalized, and then woke up after that at 11 AM, so I basically had no sleep getting all of this set up, and I haven't caught up yet. This was like a day ago, or 2 days ago, and now I'm just knackered. So, you know what? I think for now this is fine. This is fine. My gladling, what I would like it to do is we're going to use going to do some stuff in ready. I think we're probably also going to do some stuff in init, but I don't remember if anybody in chat is a Godot user. For spawning in or creating a instance of a packed scene, can I do packed scene, add it to the tree, and then get the variable as something? Or do I have to do, what's the equivalent of what's the word I'm looking for? Get component, that's it, on a game object. Oh, awesome. Oh, it was your first jam as well. Nice. I'm glad you had a good time. What game did you make? I might have played it. I haven't played too many of them yet, to be fair, just because been working. But, I mean, let me know. Let me know which one, and I would love to try it out. That'd be really cool. Oh, you know what? I am going to do... No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, okay. We're not going to use init. We're not going to use init. We're just going to use ready. And in ready, we are going to initialize some states. So, I'm going to make... I'm going to actually finish making my state class. We're going to do func exit. Not exit tree, just exit. I suppose we can call it state. Exit state. That's fine. We'll pass for now. In fact, that is what we will do. We'll have process state. That makes a lot more sense. And enter state. I think that's all we need for now to start with. And then let's make a new folder. And this is going to be called Gladling States. And I will have a script which I'm going to call Gladling idle state. We will have a Gladling walk state. Storms are brewing. Little platformer about a raindrop. Nice. I will definitely have to check that out. I haven't played it yet. Mine is this game here, Red Spot Operative. It's very, very deep. Quite tricky. The whole thing is played through a terminal. So, might not be your cup of tea. But if you did want to try it out, the only thing I would say is this little paragraph here in the page is really helpful, because in my sleepy delirium when I was finalizing the entry, I forgot to actually say in the execute command that you can check what commands a robot has by saying execute help. Sorry, not execute help. Execute the agent name help, and that then prints out a list of commands available on that given agent. Because we designed it in a way where different robots can have different commands installed on them. Not that we got around to actually making use of that feature in the submission, but still. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say. Read the description before you play, because that'll help out a lot. Right, I am just gonna do a cheeky little hop on over to cloud.unity.com. Because I want to refer back to my C# state machine architecture to see if I'm missing anything. I think one thing that I would like to have is the ability for substates, because substates are cool, substates are good, and then based on that, I'm looking at the wrong place. What am I doing? What am I doing? I can go onto GitHub. GitHub, because core utils. Let's bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got this repository, Shiba Core Utils, which is basically a bunch of, as you would guess, core utilities that I use on every Unity project that I make. Things like save systems, design pattern implementations, some generic utilities, extensions, blah, blah, blah. And one of those design pattern implementations is a state machine. Which, as you can see here, I've got this very quite nasty class signature for the abstract class, and it's kind of grisly, but it means that I can use it very extensively for anything that I would like. So I'm basically going to try and just copy this and convert it to Godot, because it's really quite cool. Let me pull up my YouTube live chat. Where's it gone? Chat, there we go. So that I can actually still see what you guys are saying while I'm working. Okay, it's not letting me do it. Thanks, OBS. Very cool. Alright. Hello. It has been a little while. Oh, awesome. That's really cool. I'm glad. I like when people find it happy to kind of code along, or, you know, just have stuff on in the background. I like to try and keep a chill vibe. But I'm doing good. Doing well. Lots of exciting stuff has been happening recently, which I've been just super busy with, like traveling and then getting that set up. But it means plenty new announcements and things coming in the near future, and plenty more live streams starting up again now that I've got all my rig reinstated. So yeah, watch this space. I'm looking forward to getting back into it, definitely. Cool. So the other thing that we would like in our state machine is just a bool. Oop, that's not how you syntax. Transitioning. And I'm going to set that to false by default. I know that this is like longhand, and that I could do it like that. But I like being really explicit, just for my own sanity, so that I don't confuse myself. Or like if I want something to be a float, and I've set it equal to 0 with no decimal points, I know that it's still a float, and it's not actually an int. And then I try to do something with it, and it's like, no, can't do that with an integer. It's against the rules. So that's why I do that thing. That's something that we want to do. We want to have our, not var, sorry, func ready. And on that we are going to say change state into our init state name. That is all good. Change state. For now, I'm just going to have a print message in here that says changing state to state, and then we'll print out the state. State. Oh my gosh. And we'll say state is equal to state key. Also, if anybody knows, what's the overhead of using format on a string as compared to doing it with like the %S type syntax, or just concatenating the string by, you know, adding onto the end of it? Yeah, if anyone knows if that's more expensive or less expensive, what's better, let me know, because I definitely don't want to do anything too janky. Cool. So that's our change state. Let's also have a function for process, kind of important. And the baseline for processing is going to be to get the desired next state key from our current state. B, if it's different to our current state, let's transition. Otherwise, that's not a hashtag. Update the current state. I think it's the same thing. Cool. Hold on, the message is being covered by that heart symbol in the YouTube chat. So there is a word that I can't read. Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's probably the same. I imagine under the hood this is just doing like a concatenate where it breaks out the dictionary and then that's probably what it's doing actually. I imagine it's doing a find and replace. Thank you, Kay Sama. Sugar syntax, right? Okay. Yeah, I imagine probably under the hood it's taking this string and then doing a find and replace for curly bracket name. It could be expensive, maybe it's not, I don't know. Although to be fair, I imagine it's probably doing the same thing still for if I was to not use that, so I'm gonna roll with it. Cool. So with that, I would like to have a function on the state, and this is going to be a utility function more than anything. Get next state key, which will be a string. And for now, let's just return null, I guess. So then we can say next state equals current state dot get next state key. If next state is equal to current state dot state key. So let's also keep a track of what our state key is. Then we will say not next state, sorry, current state dot update or process states. It's going to be plural, and we're going to pass through delta. So actually process state is going to be private, as is exit state. Enter state might be the only exception. We'll see. Honestly, I don't remember. But we're going to have this, this additional function, func process states, oh my gosh, states, which will take in delta, which is a float, not a float, a float. And from that we will call our process state. And then if substate, we'll say substate dot process states. Why so many errors? What do you mean? There we go. Delta and delta. I guess this won't let me return null, so let's just return the null string. Beautiful, no errors. Let's have a look. Any advice on Burnout? Almost done with your game demo, but can't get yourself to start Unity and work on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one. And certainly one that I have run into a lot. To be fair, one of the nicest things that I like to do for Burnout is just do something else, which oftentimes is quite bad. What you don't want to do is get distracted and then never come back. I think doing something like a game jam is a really nice way to deal with Burnout, because it takes you away from the project that you're working on and gets you into a, separate headspace. You're not thinking about it, you're not in the state of Burnout on it, but it gives you that finite time box so that you don't start a new project, develop on it for ages, and then actually just end up ditching what is probably a really solid project that you've put loads of time and effort into. That's kind of one of my favorite ways to go about dealing with burnout. Another one is just to give yourself a break, like, you know, say to yourself, I'm burnt out, I need a couple weeks, and then just step away, because there's nothing wrong with that, and sometimes it really is what you need. Third and final is probably gamify it as much as you can. Like, turn everything into a checklist and give yourself some kind of like reward, even if that reward is as simple as going to a physical checklist that you've written down on a sheet of paper and putting a nice big cross in the box next to it. That action on its own for your brain psychologically gives you a really good positive feedback loop, and especially if you work towards it as being like, if you order things in a order of kind of mid difficulty, most difficult, easiest that you have for the day, and then make sure you start your day with that mid difficult task, so that's something you know you can achieve but it's going to take a bit of effort. It really is almost like a kind of brain hacking method to maximize your dopamine release, but then also dopamine response, because as you get through the day, the response that you actually have to the same volume of dopamine is decreased. It's almost like you desensitize throughout the day, so it's really beneficial for motivation to kind of tick off those definitely achievable but still kind of difficult tasks up front before you do like anything else that's gonna feed those dopamine receptors. Those are probably my top three. I think I've talked about it a lot on previous streams as well, but at the moment that's my like go-tos. If I search warnings in project settings, I can enable a bunch of parsing errors that enforce static typing. Ah, nice. Behind in the stream, no worries. To be fair, I think with the amount that I chat, you're probably not missing much, but that's really good to know. I will definitely do that. 100% agree, Adam. The hardest thing in the process is starting. I think, to be fair, there's also a really big part at the, like, when you're almost done, it's almost like the imposter syndrome takes over, and you're kind of like, well, it needs to be better than this, I need to add this extra thing, and then you get stuck in the perpetual kind of infinite improvement state where you're constantly burnt out, you don't want to keep working on it because you're like, it's never going to be ready, even though it was probably ready months ago. That's kind of what I did with Tilelands, to be fair. And even now, I think there's plenty more that I could do to improve it, and I am with the version 2 update that's in development, but yeah, it's really hard to get started and really hard to finish. The middle bit is usually kind of okay. Yeah. That's my thoughts. Right. Okay, so if let's switch back over to our state machine. If our next state key is not the same, what we want to do is say, if we're not currently transitioning, let's call a change state. Yeah, call a change state. I wonder, do I want to set transitioning state here, or do I want to set it in the change state? I think I probably want to set it in the change state. So let's change state. We're going to pass in our next state. I think that's probably all we need to do for this method. And then the change state method is going to be where a lot of the magic happens. So I say transitioning equals true. If current state, so if we're already in something, let's say we need to exit all the states. Current state dot exit states. Let's give ourselves that again as well. Func exit states. And this is effectively going to say if substate dot exit states, and then we'll exit ourselves. Lovely stuff. And then once we've done that, we'll say our current state is going to be equal to, I think, states dot get, and we want to get the state key. Amazing. And then we can say current state dot enter state, and that one can stay as singular because we don't necessarily have substates on the thing. What we actually will want to do is, in the enter state method for our state, decide if we need a substate and then enter that substate from in here, or initialize that substate from in here, and that will be through a method called init substate or something to that effect. And that's our transition done. We can set transitioning equal to false, and everything's good. I believe that is actually everything we need for our base state machine, which is cool. So in the gladling, let's just say super, and we want to make sure that we call that last. Reason being, because up here, this is going to be where we init our states dictionary. And for the time being, I don't think there's actually anything else that we need to add too crazy. Why not use an enum rather than a string? Great question. In Unity I would. The reason I don't in this is because I want to have different states for different different kinds of state machines, and I wouldn't be able to, or well, maybe I would. I don't think I would be able to override my gladling, for example, which extends state machine. I don't think I'd be able to override its methods to take a gladling state enum, where in the state machine parent I would have to define the type of enum. Or maybe I don't. Wait, can I do like? Can I just have that be enum and it would be okay? No, I can't. Okay, yeah. So yeah, because there's no generic type for enum, I can't do it generically. So I kind of have to use strings. Like I say, in my Unity implementation, I've got this kind of grisly generic class definition, which defines the enum for the state key as a estate. And then in my implementations of that, which I don't have any in this repository because, like I say, just the baseline implementation that I can then use in my projects, I can just define that to be whatever enum I define inside of the class, and it will be fine. But again, I can't do that in Godot because we don't have proper class inheritance or generics, as far as I know. And I don't want to work in C#, which I guess is kind of shooting myself in the foot. But, you know, I get what I ask for, I suppose. And int would work, but that's also just not intuitive. Like, I don't wanna have to put 1, change state to state 1. I would want to be able to say, oh, unless you mean like have the base type be an int, and then I can have enums because they're also just ints anyway. In which case, that's kind of genius. You know what? I like that. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good shout. That is a very good shout. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Isaac. That's actually genius. Dark Knight Jedi. Am I a full-time programmer? You're 28 and a semester away from your associates in computer science. Next degree is going to be something in video games programming, starting late, but I'm excited. That's awesome. I'm technically not a full-time programmer. I'm actually a platform engineer, which sometimes involves programming, but most of the time is infrastructure management and like infrastructure as code type stuff. Lots of containerization, things like Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, all that fun stuff. So that's kind of what I do. I've been programming since I was about 9 or 10 years old, courtesy of Minecraft, making Minecraft mods, then got into games development from that. And yeah, I've kind of been programming ever since. Trying to transition to full-time game dev, but I need to save up a bit of a nest egg first. The studio has some decent income from like freelance and consultancy work, but not quite enough consistently for me to be able to live off. So baby steps, we're getting there. Right, inheritance with class name state machine. Yeah, got that. That's what the Gladeling's doing, but it's the issue of being able to then define a different type of enum as the thing that the method would take, which using the int solution would fix. There's an intern string type string name. Can you give me some more info on that? I'd be very interested to know what you mean. Doing a crash course on C++ and Python. Nice. Python's very hot at the moment because of machine learning. So definitely a good one to have. It's also pretty common and popular for back-end web development. That and Golang seem to be the top two at the moment. If you're full stack, it's Next.js, but majority of people who haven't moved to full stack yet, or don't want to move to full stack for whatever reason, Python and Golang are the two that seem to be very popular. And obviously C++ is great for games because everything games is C++, like Godot, under the hood C++, Unity C++, Unreal obviously C++. So good choices. Right, I was refactoring. We want the current state to be a state. We want the init state key. Oh my gosh, can't type. To be an int. We want our init state. That should be init state key, which means we now need this to take an int. Right, I see. Yeah, cool. No worries. Yeah, I'll probably stick with int just for simplicity's sake, and being able to use enums, because I like using enums for this stuff. And then, yeah, still have a dictionary because I don't want to have multiple of the same. Although, no. Yeah, we'll use a dictionary. I want to have things mapped in the correct place. Sick. Cool. So now in my Gladeling, let's have an enum Gladeling state, which for now we'll have idle, and we'll have walking. Oh my gosh. There we go. And now, can I override the export of this init state key to be, or maybe we just don't init the state machine in, or is it something like export? No, because again it's in the parent. Yeah, maybe we just don't init in the parent, we just do it in the child. Yeah, let's do that. And by default, let's just oh my gosh. Okay, got there in the end. Let's just change state to 0. I think that's fine. Then I can just not do the thing. We'll change state. Export. Cooking. Thank you, sir. Getting there, slowly but surely. It is taking some getting used to, the way of coding in Godot. But I do like it. I do like it. It's just different. Var init state key. You're going to be a gladling state. And we're going to change state to init state key. Amazing. I think we can actually initialize our dictionary as well. So states equals, and we will have, I'm going to bring this, no I'm not, I'll leave it there. We're going to have gladling state dot idle, and that's going to be a gladling. I need to give my state some names. Have that extend state. Similar vibe here, except you're going to be a gladling walk state. Gladling idle state. Maybe this should be move more generically. Oops. That needs to be .new as well. .new. Did I... yeah, I want you to be move state. No, I'll leave it as walk for now. We can make some changes later. What I would really like, just by the end of the day, is to have this up and running. With like a little person that's moving around the screen. I would really like to have that by 10 PM, because that's when I ideally need to wrap up. And to be fair, we're making decent time. It's only 9:07. We got 50 minutes. So let's let's do this thing. The way that I'm going to do this thing is we'll also have a export var move speed, which will be a float, and I think I'll set it to like 2.0 to start with. Can I do that? I can do that. Fantastic. And then I'll also, let me just comment this for debug purposes. For debug, move area, which will be a vector2, and this is going to be like a localized move range for where the player started. So I will also have a var init position, which will be a vector2, and let's also just say when we're ready, we'll say init position equals global position. Right, how do I get the position? Is it just transform? Is it transformed opposition? It's not transformed opposition. wrong tab. Looks like Godot. It's just position. Just position. Is that global position? No. Oh, it's a get transform. No. Oh wait, is this going to be because my state machine extends node? That's a that's an oversight on my part. A node doesn't have a transition, does it? A transform even. I could do something really stupid. I could do something really stupid and make a entity state machine, which... Oh no, because I can't even do that. Yeah, I should probably just have it as a separate node, shouldn't I? Would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. So, advice, question. If I were to do something like add a child node, make this just a basic node, have it be state machine. Yeah. That's cool. Because it's a node, so it doesn't have a transform. I need to rethink my approach here a little bit. I really wish that Godot had interfaces. It would be very beneficial. But should be okay. So if I have a state machine here, and then on my Gladeling, I can still have... I don't want the state dictionary, I guess. But I can init my state machine from here, and then the state machine can have a reference to my guy, I guess. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So then this is going to be... do I want it to be a character body 2D, actually? Because then I can call move on it. I do. I do. Oh my gosh. You know what? No, stop. Delete. Delete. I would like a character body 2D, please. Needs a collision shape. That's cool. Let's go back into 2D so we can set this guy up again. We're getting there. We're cooking. Add child node. I would like my sprite 2D. It's going to be my graphics. You know what, actually, before I do that, I'm actually going to put that under a standard node 2D. And then have my sprite 2D, which is going to be my player sprite. Not my player sprite, sorry. Gladeling sprite. Rename this to Gladeling. We will set up this sprite first and then set up our thing. Oh, I can change node type by right clicking. Damn. That would have been good to know. I swear I did that one time. Clearly I just am very blind. Oh, that's a crab. That's a wizard. That's a lady. There's my little soldier. Can even give him a little helmet. Old person? Shield. let's go with this dude. And we are going to move him up. Can I move you up, please, Brev? There we go. There we go. Let's add our collision shape 2D. What do you need? A shape. Oh, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. I think I can use a rectangle. And let's get that nice and snug. Just to the body. Yeah, he's chilling. Cool. Give him the Gladling script. Let's add a child node for our state machine. And we'll stick the state machine.gd on that. And back into scripting. Also, let's save the scene real quick. Yeah, we can have our init position now. It can be transform.position, or it can just be position, can't it? Yeah, there we go. Global position is what I would like. And then I need a reference to the state machine. So let's make this unique name. We can have an onReady var state machine, which will be a state machine, and we can say state machine dot states equals that. Cool. And then I think on the state machine we just go back to initializing in here. We can't do that. That's quite funny. I guess that doesn't need to be a node in the scene, actually, does it? We can just make it new on ready. Take this out of here. Boop, 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 boop. Have that like that. We can say on ready state machine equals state machine dot new, and we'll have that take in a parameter. So func init, and that's going to have init state, which will be an int. Do my little return signature, even though I know I don't need to. And that's going to have our init state int self dot init state equals init state, and then we can transform. Bruh, what am I trying to say? Change our change state to be init state. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. That is all well and good. What are we saying? Another trick to know for static typing more refactorability is to use export for properties that reference nodes. So that should reorder the scene tree and the property value will still be intact. Does that change if you use reference unique? Because it's not, I suppose you wouldn't be able to change the name of the node, but the path doesn't matter anymore, right? So you could move the node elsewhere as long as the name stays the same. Huh. Wait, so the name can change but you can't move it. Yeah, let's find out. Because it feels to me like it should work. I've made a node 2D. Do I need a node 2D for my world? I don't know. We'll go with it. World. 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 There we go. Let's save this as well. I'm going to go upper level. I'm going to make a new folder, and this is going to be user flow. And let's stick my gladeling in here. In fact, I'm going to stick a few gladelings in here. I'm going to add a camera 2D, which eventually we will switch out for a camera controller. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm asking if I was to just set it as an on-ready and have it be accessed by unique name rather than using a direct path like you might do if you didn't do direct name. I can still move that around the scene tree, I would imagine, as long as the name doesn't change. That's fine. But if the name changes, I can see that it would still break. But path should be fine. Where's my scenes? Have to cast it to the right type. Do you? Even if you specify the type in the parameter? Oh my gosh, he's small. Look at this little dude. He's tiny. I mean, I suppose that would make sense. The camera is rather large. There's a question. Wait a minute. Does the camera 2D have like built-in move functionality? I'm seeing things like position smoothing and limiting. What? Oh, there's the zoom parameter. Oh my gosh. This is kind of nuts. Okay, cool. I want to have a few little gladelings hanging around the place. And I want them all to kind of wander around within their own little 2x2 radius. Oh, here's a question. If I go into here and I need to change the motion mode to floating, and I want to set the move area to 2x2. If I save that, is that going to update for all of my gladelings over here? It is. Fantastic. Good stuff. Alright, let's try and actually code some states, shall we? Get these guys moving around the place. So what I would like to do in my idle state is say enter state. I want to have a var wait time, which is going to be a float, and I will just say can I do tree.createTimer? Or it's like, what is it? Get tree. It's not going to be in the tree. Is the thing. Or is it going to be in the tree? I don't think it's going to be in the tree because I'm not adding it to the tree at any point. I guess I could do okay. No, what do I want to do? Yeah, how can I create a timer without adding it to the tree? Because I know that timers don't do things if they're not in the tree, do they? Whoops. Full screen, please. Why did I do that? Let me pull up my other... There we go. I'm going to close that. Go here. Timer. Godot. 4.3. Can I still call get tree if the node itself is not in the tree? If I can, that's great. If not, not so great. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Idle state. Let's have our func in it. Which is going to take a wait time float. I think it also needs to take some other stuff because on our state we would like to have a reference to our state machine. Yeah, I also suspect it won't work. Just manually do the countdown. Good shout. Yeah. Kind of annoying, but sounds good. Yeah, for now, let's just take state key. Which is going to be an integer, as we say. We're going to say self dot state machine. Nope, state machine equals state machine self dot state key equals state key. And then in my idle state, we'll say need to match this signature. Cool. Yeah. So plan is that for the... Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I guess we are going to have an instance of the state machine in the tree then. Because it will just make life easier. Yeah. Bang. Then I can't call new on it, but I guess I don't need to call new on it. I can just set the things and call the method. Why is this complaining now? Oh, because it needs... Yeah. And then gladling state.idle state machine gladling state dot walk. That also then needs a wait time. Oh, what am I doing? No. I'm being stupid. The EP is catching up to me. I want to set my wait time when we enter the state. Yeah. We'll say wait time equals rand f underscore range. We'll set the range to be like, I don't know, 0.25. No, maybe 1 and 3. Sure. So between 1 and 3. What's its? Can I do that? If I go... Hold on, save everything so I'm not getting... Bro, why are you still complaining? There we go. If I say state machine equals state machine dot new, and then set the init state to gladling state dot idle, no, idle, then I can just say add child and pass in the state machine. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna hit play just to see that everything works. I got an error. It's invalid call, non-existent function, enter state on base nil. Where did this error get thrown on? Oh, I suppose, yeah, we probably need to do all of the setup before we add it to the tree, right? That would make sense. Yep, cool. String and int operator, next state, of course. I need to update that to return an int. And I guess we just return -1. Pretend that there's no state. Non-existent function, enter state in base nil. Ha! Of course, yes. That would make a lot of sense. I don't want to return -1. I want to return state key. By default, let's just stay in the state we're in. Hey! We got there. We got there. Right, 30 minutes to get these guys walking around the place. Let's also just do a quick update on my window to be 1920 by 1080. And I am going to zoom my camera in to like 3:3 so that they're nice and, yeah, nice and good on the screen. Lovely stuff. So now what I need to figure out is how I'm going to get the Gladeling to wander about the place. I guess I probably want to have some reference to it. Like maybe in my state machine, let's just have a... Let's stop putting so many new lines, first things first. Whoops. Oh gosh. No. There we go. Init state. X. V. Darn it. X. V. Not C. Transitioning can stay where it is. That's all good. Let's have a var controller, which can be a character body 2D. We'll pass that in on the init as well. How are you doing state machines yourself at the moment, actually? Because I know that at one point when I was like studying state machines in the first place, or like properly getting into design patterns and trying to look at more, I was following the Shaggy Dev, because he had a really good explanation of state machines, and he is a Godot developer as well. I think it was Godot 3 that he was using for that, but you know, theory is much the same. But I just can't for the life of me remember what he was doing. So yeah, are you using that or doing something else? Cool, let's pass in self. Amazing. Oof. I mean, I suppose there's a problem there that I then won't be able to. I'll have to cast to a gladeling to get the gladeling's walk speed. It's fine, I guess. I don't really like it very much. But I'll roll with it. Oh, right, I see. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, inheritance would be nice. Is all I'll say. This feels like a situation where inheritance is appropriate. And then can still have composition under the base of it, but yeah, I don't know. Having an object that then has a state machine that spits stuff back to it to do the things. I would rather just have the thing be the state machine. But maybe I'm being silly. Who knows? Who knows? All right, we'll have the wait time in our func process state. Let's have this say we'll have var elapsed time. Make sure we reset elapsed time as well. I'll say elapsed time plus equals 1. Delta, not 1. And then if elapsed time is greater than or equal to wait time, we will update our exit state. State key, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to do this on the base, actually. In fact, I think I did do this on the base. No, I didn't. Var state key. Next state is an int. And we will also say next state equals state key. And then in the default, we can just have get next state key, return next state. I think that's very sensible. And then in my idle state, we will say next state equals gladeling dot gladeling state dot walk. Cool. I think that's actually all we need to do for the idle state. Nice. Checked out Red Spark too. It is hard. It is hard. Glad you liked the immersion as well. I that was probably I probably went too hard. Too hard on the immersion. Spent way too much time focusing on not enough time focusing on balance and actually making the game properly fun. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. How far did you manage to get? Did you hit quota, or did it did it destroy you like it usually does me? Usually takes me out quite quickly. Cool. I think this is good. This is good. Got pretty thrashed, yeah. Fair. It is tough. It's a very tough game, not gonna lie. Right. For the walk state, I want to say when I enter the state, I wonder, can I have this take? No, because a gladeling No. That's not how typing works. Let's just do this. Gladling equals state machine dot controller as gladling. Nice. And I want to say we'll have a target position. Which will be a vector 2. And we will say target position equals vector 2, and it's going to be rand f dot range. Rand f range. There we go, got there eventually. And we're going to do gladling dot init position dot x minus gladling, oopsie daisy, gladling dot move area dot x, and then the same thing but plus. And then similarly we'll do that but for y. 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 Cool. And then for process state, I guess I want to say my bar move velocity equals controller dot position state machine dot controller dot position minus target position. And can I normalize that? Yep, amazing. And then we'll multiply it by state machine dot controller, and I want that as a gladling dot move speed. And then I'm going to say state machine dot controller dot move and slide, and that takes in our move velocity. Wait, how does move and slide work? Oh, do I have to set the velocity and then move and slide? Okay, let's do that. Maybe. Let's do that, and then we can just always be moving and sliding. I think that makes sense. So then in our idle state, when we enter, let's say, state machine dot controller dot velocity equals vector 2 dot 0, and then my gladling on process can just move and slide. Yeah, that's cool. That won't work. Oh well, because I've got them in floating mode, I think they should just move around normal, like without gravity, because this is, I want it to be top down. So we should be okay. Should be okay. And then I want to say if controller, nope, state machine dot controller dot global position minus yeah, 3D is, I feel weird about 3D because I always look at it as being the same as 2D for all intents and purposes, because logically speaking it kind of is, but some things just get super weird as well. So it's kind of hard to transition. I think most people find it more daunting, or see it as being more daunting than it is, though. Kind of like programming, you know. Everyone's like, oh, it's really hard. And then you start doing it, and it gets a lot easier, which is quite nice. Right, distance is going to be... Is there like a vector2 dot distance? Or like a general distance thing? 2D objects don't exist in 3D space. Yeah. That's interesting they go on the HUD though. Although I guess it makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Right, state machine dot controller dot position, global position minus target position dot size, or is it length? Yeah, length. And then I will say if distance is equal to 0, next state equals gladling dot gladling state dot idle. There we go. Theoretically, this should work. Vector dot distance 2. Let's have a look. Can I just do like distance 2? It's maybe a Google moment. Oh, wrong window. Maybe not. Yeah, it definitely doesn't exist on Vector 2. I wonder if it's on Vector 3. Nope. Oh, yeah, autocomplete just is not working. Oh, wait. Hold up. So do I want to do... I want to do state machine dot global position dot distance 2. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that so much. That's kind of weird syntax, but I guess that's cool. That makes sense. Theoretically, we should have working gladlings now that will kind of stand around and then move after some time has elapsed. They've all changed to state 0. You're right. There we go. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, what have I done here? That changes to walk. Just make sure walk is a different number. State machine is doing process states on the current state. Process states, we process our state. And then in... That's why. Process state. There we go. Oh, look at them go. Super slow. But they're moving. Let me up their move speeds to like 10. Yeah, there we go. They'll get to their places and they'll stop. "2D is measured in pixels, but 3D is in meters." Okay, so these guys are all going to move 10 pixels a frame. Or... yeah, 10 pixels a frame. Or does move and slide automatically applies delta, right? They're not stopping, are they? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh wait, have I put my things the wrong way around? I actually want to do target position minus this, don't I? "10 pixels a second." Yeah, that's kind of slow, but also like... Oh. That guy's kind of vibrating. Just on the spot. Oh, I suppose, if it gets there, or if it overshoots. Are they all just, like, vibrating aggressively? Hold on, let me sort out the, scaling mode. Canvas items. Keep... height, I think I want to do. Yeah, they're all just kind of like minorly overshooting. Set this to 10. Although, I mean, it doesn't really solve my problem. Nah, they're all changing state and then just not ending up where they need to be. Normalize. I did. Was the thing, yeah. Normalize, not limit length. Although I think the issue lies in this. I'm picking a place for it to go, and then it's kind of like going there and jumping back and forth because it overshoots in the frame and then gets back. So I probably want this to be less than or equal to like some really small number. And that should solve my issue. He says. Clearly not small enough. Too small, rather. Yeah, there we go. Now they're just picking silly small distances. Also, they're switching out of idle for the second time very quickly, which makes me think that this is probably not doing the trick, because they are flip-flopping. Let's go into the world and just delete 4 out of my 5 gladelings and see what we get. What's limit length solving? The overshooting. What would be the difference between limit length 1 and normalize? I feel like they would do the same thing, right? If it's less than 1, normalize will increase the length. Yeah, that's the idea. I always want it to be 1, because we just want this is like an input direction, same as if I was using a keyboard and doing WASD. I always want the vector to be 1. Because it's just the input direction. We want the direction multiplied by the move speed. Not just the distance. Or the direction, sorry. Or, again, start again. Not just the vector in the direction from A to B. But the... yeah. If the distance is less than the speed. That's a good shout. That is a good shout. It would have to be move speed times delta. Yeah. Good shout indeed. Amazing. Okay. And then, yeah, the other thing that I was wanting to figure out is this. The timer seems to be not resetting very well. Or like ticking over way too quick. State machine, that prints the changing state. Yeah, it seems to be snapping between 0 and 1. Oh, I know why. It's because I am not resetting my next state. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Alright. I think that should do it. That should do it. Let's get some more gladelings back in here. Bang. 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 Save. Gonna just change the script ever so slightly to not be quite as long again. To make it between 0.5 and 1.5. Now they're moving tiny amounts, but they're moving nonetheless. Oh, it's in pixels, isn't it? Not in meters. So let's up the move range to, I don't know, like 500. Maybe not 500. Maybe like, let's go 250. 250 by 250. Or 250 by 125. Sure. Let's go with that. Now we should get much better moving. Yay! Look at them go. Should I be moving and sliding in process or like the fixed update equivalent? Because they're also kind of jittery when they move and slide. Oh no, that was just the size of my screen. Maybe not. No, he's definitely jittering. Is that yes to fixed update? Yep, sweet. Course, yeah. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. What am I doing? Gladeling. Amazing. Oh, look at that. 10 out of 10. Okay. We have little peeps. Probably want to put a physics process on the velocity update. Oh, those two are going to be permanently stuck. I mean, eventually we'll switch it out for pathfinding. We'll probably use A-star, because that'll make a lot of sense. But whatever the weather, this is a good start. I think I want to do some more looking into implementing state machines so that I can kind of fiddle with this more. At the moment, I don't know if I necessarily quite like this approach too much. But maybe it's fine, maybe it's not. Either way, I'm happy to call that as the wrapping up point. So I want to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Isaac especially, thank you very much for your help. Final reminder to everyone, go check out the Game Jam entry. I don't think there's a link in the description, but there certainly is in the... what am I doing? Red spot. Yeah, there is a link to this in the Discord server. Would really appreciate if you want to check it out. Left some feedback. Made in a week. Very fun. Also, please do be sure to go check out Isle Birds on Steam. It's a game that Shibadog Studios is publishing. It's developed by a good friend of mine, Felix, over at Obfuscate Interactive. It's his first game. It's very similar in spirit to Thailand, so if you enjoyed that, I'm certain you'll enjoy this. And it really does help both me and him out a lot. If you go and wishlist it, we'll be releasing a lot more info and a demo for the game very soon. And yeah, I'll be back later in the week. I'm going to start streaming a lot more again. Very excited to do so. Get in the Discord server, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.